Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
And welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Wednesday? Yeah. Wednesday, November 2nd?
Okay.
Yes, and it's a little after 11 o'clock, and I'm having that joint show with Aaron Green again. This is On the Clock with Guardian Radio AM, and we have our panel. We have Louis Georges with us, and we have Ian Munnings with us, and we have an array of topics that we are talking about. Mind you, I wanted to pivot, but Aaron had some nice topics to talk about, and I want to continue 1 and 2. But if I have Louis Georges here, surely I got to talk immigration, eh? Why do I not take advantage of that? So I even though I want to hear your topics, Aaron, we got to talk about immigration.
I mean,
and something that Luby said that I want the conversation be concentrated on. But before that, let's speak to the caller, and then I'll ask you that question where I'm thinking about, and then you can continue what you're doing.
Yeah,
That's
no
good?
problem.
So patch the caller through their producer. Let me hear what they say. Go ahead, caller. Hello, I can hear you now.
Yes, sir. You know, what amazed me, right, is that the technocrats, international technocrats, you know, from banking organizations, from lending organizations, you know, they tell us that we need to bring income tax, right? They tell us that. But our local so-called technocrats say that, no, we don't have to do that. We need to do something. We can do other things. You see, so... You know, so therefore we have the situation, and then let's look at what Richard Nixon did, right? Richard Nixon, he put a law that there was no income tax. I mean, no what you call it in inflation times, right? He said no hike in prices, no rise in prices, and no rise in salaries. You know, and it dealt with inflation, more inflation than we have today. But we can't do a thing like that because we import inflation, right? So we just need to do the things that everybody know we should do, you know. And with Louis George, right, and immigration, I would like them to answer the question about whether how according to the Haitian Constitution, right, that the children born of Haitian parents, right, are citizenship, automatic citizens, right, and they can denounce their citizenship without going to Haiti in front of the justice of the peace, and Bahamians to get a Bahamian citizenship, you got to denounce all other citizenship. Thank you.
Well, I can answer that. The Bahamian Constitution trumps all other constitutions. I don't want to hear nothing about the Haitian. Only act. You cannot come bring a foreign person. No. That's insulting our constitution. How you could make some other foreign constitution compared to ours? It's only ours. It's only one constitution exists.
My question to you.
Yes,
right?
just talk about only ours, though.
Right. So no, my question to you, right? How does the Haitian announce his constitution?
No, see that don't have nothing to do with me. See, concentrate. Let's focus. We only can speak about the Bahamian Constitution. But you ain't focusing. But I'm telling you. Let's talk about our Constitution.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our Constitution. In our Constitution. Listen. In our Constitution, it allows all persons to denounce and become citizen of the according to our laws. That's all matters.
Anybody.
That's all matters.
Right.
Full stop.
Yeah,
so how do you
straight.
do it?
Good night.
But you got hello. Yeah, okay.
Go ahead. A lot of people want to answer, so I'll let you hang up now, and let me let Aaron go on to that. But only our Constitution matters, and only our Constitution I plan to entertain.
Our Constitution says you can't be a dual citizen.
And like I said,
right?
only our Constitution matters.
Yeah,
you notice? Have you ever noticed? Have you ever noticed?
How does one denounce the citizenship?
Lewis, have you ever noticed that none of our constitutional lawyers ever brought this up to say it's a problem? Only people who ain't study laws bring these things up, you know.
Did you study law?
I did, but I just don't say it to people because they say, "Why I should know better." But I have to see, and now I announced what I got my degree in now. My point is, you bring me a constitutional lawyer, and I'll entertain your
U.S. citizenship. Okay, you can't denounce the U.S. citizenship.
And we have them become citizens of the Bahamas all the same. Say again?
How do you denounce the U.S. citizenship? They have to know. You
Only,
have to be able to say, okay, you got dual citizenship.
And we,
or you could be a Bahamian and have a dual citizenship.
And you know that the United States have Haitian Americans too. All the countries have Haitian Americans.
What I'm saying
and all us have the similar constitution. And yet, only us asking strange questions.
Can a Bahamian have a dual citizenship?
You're born here. You have a dual citizenship, but you have a dual citizenship.
Can a Haitian Bahamian have a dual citizenship?
But I don't care about Haitian Bahamian. Only Bahamians I care about.
But according to the Constitution, you can you can't have a dual citizenship.
And they do not have a dual citizenship according to us.
Pardon?
They do not have a dual citizenship according to us.
All right. So that there's the key.
So we straight. So now we answer that they cannot have a dual citizenship according to our Constitution. See, there you go. Thanks very much. I was wondering why this conversation lasted so long.
But the key to that, sorry, man, Don.
Me and then Luby.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say that, like, you know, when you go through the airport and you go to U.S. immigration and then you go into that customs hall, that's U.S. territory. In the Bahamas, that's try it.
U.S. territory.
Try it.
Go ahead. The minute you be on the line,
and whoever, hold on,
I see where you're going.
And whoever the Haitian government appoints, whoever that person who's responsible for handling that ceremony of renouncement, whoever he appoints as his agent, they are the same as him. Remember the voluntary bill of indictment conversation we had about who could sign it, who can't sign it? That's the same thing. So it's just, he's in Haiti at the embassy.
Yeah,
that's Haiti.
Just to nip this thing in the bud, because it's been making rounds now, and some of the...
By people who don't study law.
Right, and some of the xenophobic cult-like leaders who are pushing their own agendas and movements, they continuously try to find ways to discredit persons' Bahamianness or the Bahamian citizenship, all right? So they talk about the Constitution of Haiti, saying that persons have to present themselves before the Justice Department in Port-au-Prince in order to be able to renounce their citizenship. Yes, the Constitution of Haiti does say that, but guess what? We have an entire embassy of the Republic of Haiti here in Nassau on Shirley Street. They act as a proxy on behalf of the government and any agency, any department, any ministry of the Haitian government. And so it is done at the Haitian embassy on behalf of the Haitian government. So that ends that.
My point is our government has no issue with it. No government has issue.
It doesn't. So because we understand that the Haitian government still did it. You still went before the Haitian... If you go before the embassy, you go before the Haitian government. That's done.
You want to speak on this before I go to the next caller?
No. I have the text machine in my hand.
Okay, let me answer this next caller, and you read the text, Aaron. Go ahead, caller.
Newry.
Go ahead.
I'm going to make several points.
Go ahead, man. Several, but don't be long points, but go ahead.
No, I'm not. You weren't just to that brother with last call. Let me show you something.
That brother didn't make no sense.
I was living in the United States of America, right? I had a green card.
Yeah.
They had called me in. I didn't ask them for citizenship. They had called me in, and they wanted to give me a citizenship. They offered me a citizenship, right? But what they wanted me to do is renounce the Bahamas, and I didn't do it. Other thing is, right, my children and grandchildren, they born in the United States, right? A lot of them, right? Not all, but a lot of them, right? And great-grands, right? Born in the United States, right? Now, according to them, born in the United States, and I am a Bahamian, they have rights to the Bahamas, okay, because of me, okay? So what I am saying is, right, anybody would want to come to be a citizen of the Bahamas. They shouldn't be ashamed of getting their passport from the embassy, the Asian embassy. And governments got to stop doing this bunch of foolishness in which they be doing is giving people rights without conversing with the Bahamian people. That's indecent. This is our country.
And I hear you, Bremen, but let me ask you
my last point before I go, right? Now I heard you was talking to Thompson, right? Mr. Thompson, right? The other day.
Go ahead.
And he was explaining the Constitution to you in which you had not understood, right? But now you're talking about you took up law. You got to stop your foolishness and stop fast talking.
Raymond.
Raymond, march down, man down.
I appreciate that. Like I said, I don't tell people I took a blow. I just took it up. I didn't pass the bar or anything. I just happened to take it up. But needless to say, this is the Bahamas. I only care about the Bahamian Constitution now. I don't know what the Japanese Constitution have what inside it. Do you know the preamble of the British? Don't they even have a constitution? The British, the German Constitution. I don't care about the Haitian Constitution. You know, as a proud Bahamian, right? But I want to know about Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier was born in the United States.
No.
He wasn't born in the United States?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah, but he was born in the United States.
No, I mean, it's possible. I mean, for the purposes of
There are a few stories about
No, I know he's born in the United States.
They said somebody adopted him in I think in Coconut Grove.
For the purposes of taxation.
No, you didn't stop. Because you mixed up the story.
They say somebody adopted him in Coconut Grove.
For the purposes of taxation.
They said the people
he's born in the States.
Where you get this story from?
I mean, I've heard three separate stories.
Me too, I heard them too.
One born in Cat Island, one in the water.
I heard the same thing, Aaron.
Traveling to the
Traveling
States
to the United
and
States.
one in the States.
Where you all get this story?
But I imagine that the way his immigration papers are set up, he's born in the States. I can't
born in Miami.
Hold on, there were three things that I heard, and that's like Aaron said. Conclude what she said.
I heard you all making these stories up
on the way to the U.S. He was born somewhere on the bridge going there, and then they said, Kid Island was known for what the guy that sings what is his name? The Obeah Man?
Yeah.
Said the Obeah Man was what raised him in Coconut Grove.
What kind of madness? See, I didn't even know I should even entertain y'all with these. Sidney Poitier was born in Miami.
Listen to me.
His mother and father.
Miami Street off
Miami.
Of Balfour
His
Avenue.
mother and father were farmers. They was there picking, selling their wares, oranges, when we used to sell oranges.
Yeah.
And he came early. Right. He came premature.
The story I read was that they were on a boat taking their wares from Cat Island to sell in the States, and he came early, i.e.
On a voyage there.
on the voyage.
But if he born in American territory,
waters, right?
waters, it still be America,
I
no?
mean, technically,
That
guy was in the part.
It wasn't on land.
And
Remember
what
now,
I'm saying is-
the Cubans have a wet land law.
For
Anyway.
immigration purposes, I'm glad he's born in the
hang up.
States.
Go ahead.
A couple of texts.
Go ahead to text. Go on the text.
All right.
Y'all vex me with Sidney Poitier. Then y'all vex me when talk with the Haitian Constitution over and making it Trump and compare to our Constitution.
That's why we should introduce corporate income tax. Then they will have to disclose their revenue, sales, and how much markup price gouging occurs. That's okay. So that's what the question of transparency in business records. Good morning, Ms. Green. Commenting on closing comment about growing population. It makes sense as
That's what I
long
want to talk about.
as you're not growing your population with paupers.
And then this is why
I want y'all to know all children has come broke. All children has come broke. Don't expect a tip when they get here.
No?
But they are all paupers.
But my thing is this.
Thank you, Texas. That's a great text.
Like CA says that the Constitution of the Bahamas trumps any constitution. As a Bahamian.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas.
No, in the Bahamas.
We only considering the Bahamas because we live in the Bahamas. We want to fix the Bahamas and make the Bahamas great. So in making the Bahamas great, we have to think about things that are going to make our country great. But like what CA was saying, particularly, if you're going to come into the Bahamas and you're going to bring a skill, you're going to add to the development of our nation, we don't have an issue with you. I think that what happens is governments play these little parlor tricks during election times and so forth with this whole immigration thing. This is a taxing issue, but an issue that can be drawn to head like yesterday. The population of the Bahamas needs to be growing in order for our country to develop itself. We have 700 islands, reefs, and keys. There are some keys around this island that nothing is on it.
Yeah, no, wait, hold on. We ain't developing all of them.
You can't say that, Aaron.
No, wait, I just
Aaron, I have
this.
some ideas, and I said...
No, I like your idea.
I
can't develop all that.
But I'm saying that I thought that...
Broom Street. Let's fix Broom Street.
No, I thought that the government...
Quackle Street?
I thought the government would have... Because all of these different appointments was going on. We were talking
What
about the
about
appointments.
Street?
Hold on, we were talking about all the appointments. We should have had a national think tank. The government should have drawn its best set of people, put them in a working environment. There's going to be split up in two different parts, like we discussed on the break. Mm-hmm. One section of that is going to be the executionists, and the next side of that is going to be the ones who are going to have the imagination.
I think that's what Jerome Fitzgerald is doing.
No,
he's not doing that. But
don't put me in the same...
imagination. The imagination.
I think that's what he's in charge of.
See, the imagination.
Special projects and development.
Hey, listen.
No, hold on, wait. You're right. He's in the deliverables unit, which would be the execution side.
Yeah, but we need
yeah.
now we need the currency because the imagination is the currency. For this country to grow with the way we want it to grow, we need the great minds of our country, whether it's internal or external. We need those minds to be on the ground to say, hey, we can do this, we can do that.
All right. Producer, can you take us to this call, please? Caller, we coming to you right now. Good morning, caller. You are on the Guardian Radio AM on the clock mashup.
Good morning, Aaron Green, CC Newry, and I think Luby Johnson in the studio also.
And Ian Munnings.
And Ian Mullins.
Yeah.
Listen, I have many friends that who I grew up with have dual nationality.
Mm-hmm.
They're born, the majority are born in the U.S., but they also still have a Bahamian passport, and they got a U.S. passport. So I don't know what some of the callers are calling about and talking about. Prime example, Sidney Poitier was born in U.S. territory.
That's what I was telling them.
On the way going to Miami. But
You telling me this boy was born in Customs Hall at LPIA?
He said on the way
going to
That's where I be on the way. What, pardon?
No.
Yes, sir. I'm
Sidney Poitier was born on a boat going to Miami in the U.S. territory. So he is automatically a U.S. citizen, and to his parents, he's still a Bahamian. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you very
but
much.
Aaron, that's the contradiction.
No, we ain't mind. This not.
No.
Yeah,
You said in U.S. territory. What is U.S. territory? Boiling on the water is U.S. territory?
Yes.
The Cubans become...
That's a different part. They have a
so you're
policy
saying
for Cuba.
anytime somebody born in the water, they're that thereof, then they...
Let me show an example. Let's just show you. If the Cubans happen to land or
Wetland.
a wetland, right? They get allowed to stay in the United States.
Right.
If the Haitian happen to go in the same way, wetland, they get deported.
If the Haitians
But
were born on the trade going to America, do you think that the Haitian on that
The
boat-
child may have some rights.
Do you think
The child may have some rights.
Do you think that child on that water going to the voyage, if it happened there going to the U.S., would be a U.S. citizen?
They may have some rights. Yes,
I totally doubt
they may
that.
have some rights.
I think so.
And
Maybe I
activists
totally
will-
doubt that. What do you
the
think, Aaron?
activists-
I doubt that.
Yes,
I
in the
mean,
U.S.
that's-
territory, and they surely born. And
I've
they prove
been
it.
invited
That's law.
before, and I've seen how the U.S. Customs boats are set up and their process before handing over to Bahamas immigration officers. So I do suspect that should that child be born in U.S. territorial waters, that child will be able to claim their right.
But we got to be careful then, because that means we may have a lot of migrants traveling, wait till they're pregnant to actually make the voyage.
Hold on.
But we know that, right? But
tell
we mean we don't have the same law.
already?
Wait.
We don't have that same law.
When you say
But we don't have in the Bahamas.
Louis, when we say we, you mean the U.S. and Russia, right? Like they've done an entire expose on this thing they call Russian anchor babies, where Russian
Right.
women wait until they're pregnant to travel to the U.S.
The term doesn't apply for the Bahamas.
No,
No.
there's no such thing as an anchor baby here in the Bahamas.
Not in the Bahamas. It can work probably in the United States, but not in the Bahamas.
And the
We're not going
irony
to do away
is
with
most
that.
of these people are coming here by boat. But ching. So I got 17 texts here, Ian.
Read the text.
I gotta read some of these texts. And I didn't mean to say it just to you, because they do into you what you do to me.
I want to talk about
Okay.
immigrants, and you don't want me to talk about
And
immigrants.
I want to talk about the UK Rwanda migrant plan. I think we should order churches too and cap how many funds they can spend. They can get.
I heard the FW.
Okay.
I heard the FW.
Seeing that the government wants to control how much companies can make sounds like dictatorship to me and Luby, we ain't into hearing your cynical comedic chatter. I thought that was me with the cynical
That's what I
comedic
thought
chatter texter. Okay, my bad. I'll step it up. Good morning, LOL. You guys are hilarious. Yes, we do clean our boats. Thanks for the laugh. Another text. If they become organized, the government will begin to tax them too. Now that the Columbus statue is gone, put up a Sidney Poitier statue.
No,
Not a government house. We will never implement income tax because too many Bahamians have accounts abroad that they cannot that they cannot explain why they have so much money out of the country and where it came from. Another text: is this a live show? Dear texter, it is a live show. You can also catch us on the Guardian Radio app. Just go online.
Let me read this too. Let me read this. You know,
Yeah.
I got people to send me stuff. Early life. Poitier was born on February 20th, 1927 in Miami, Florida. He was the youngest of 7 children, born to Evelyn Nee Oden and Reginald James Poitier, Afro-Bahamian farmers who own a farm on Cat Island. The family would travel to Miami and goes on. The man born in Miami.
Listen,
not on the boat. He born in Miami.
I like that way the story.
I like the story,
way
how
the
they- how
story
they-
was
how they
told,
read the
and I
story, yeah.
imagine that many Bahamian stories are told in the same way, and I would then caution Bahamians to exercise caution when talking about ancestry and ethnicity.
But the question
And it
is,
says that he is 3 months premature, and the parents remain in the United States for 3 months after he
but
was born.
since we
All
are
right.
since we are
Born
on that
right in
topic,
Miami.
since we are on that topic, Aaron, would
Yeah.
you consider Mr. Poitier as being a national hero?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why
and
not?
And I can tell you why.
Because he was born in the States?
No, no.
Why not?
I can
What
tell
was his contribution
I
here
can
to the
tell you-
Bahamas?
hold on,
All kind of
hold on, I can
contribution.
tell you-
Tell me.
I can go.
I can
but
tell you
we
why.
had this national debate, man. How come you don't know this? There's two questions you vexed me with. No,
we
how
don't-
come you don't know nothing but City Point
We
here?
don't have a national. You have a national.
He donated all kind of money to Prince Will. He brought all kind of civil rights activists to the Bahamas to work along with the PLP whenever he's going through our own civil rights movement. He donated all kind of money to the advancement of colored people inside the Bahamas and help start up different programs. But we should know this. I mean, money to donate like crazy. I remember he had a house right there. What a house where he had?
Life of Key.
Life of Key. And brought all kind of Bahamians and breaks stereotypes and all kind.
And when many Bahamians raise the same question, right, and they look at the arts and culture sphere, and they say, why hasn't Bahamian music been taken to the world stage?
The performance.
And why haven't people like
Arts.
Sidney Poitier helped? I would argue that we are unaware of.
Tap your mic there. Can you hear? Okay,
No.
go ahead.
Yeah, we are unaware of Sidney Poitier's role and impact in global arts, in theater, in the movies, and what he has done for the Bahamas and the region, right, in that space. It's a different type of foreign policy than we're used to seeing. But further to that, what this boy did for black people globally, when he raised money to go down into the South to assist the freedom fighters who were being killed by those racist people down in the antebellum South, is that what you call it? I'm
Yep.
too young to remember that. That boy is a hero. Okay, I got to get to these texts because I have
go to
another
the text.
question to
Go
put
to the
on,
text.
on
Go
the
to the
table.
text.
Okay, Newry, you can have dual citizenship as long as you don't run for political office. That policy with the Cubans is not in existence anymore. That's the wet foot, dry foot. Well, the government knows what the pharmacies make. In order to renew your business license, you have to produce an income statement. Also, if the income statement is inconsistent, you may be asked to provide further information. Medication is essential and food is essential, and both should be monitored and controlled by the government. The recession is real, and if we keep playing around, this country will suffer. Everyone needs to take a hit right now in order for the country to survive. Imagine if there was no price control on electricity and gas. The price would be today sky high. You can imagine they telling us, look how far we had to go to the sun for the solar power. If we had free market system, these monopolistic cartels would milk every dollar from this society. When you have banks that don't lend money for business expansion, those with capital will eat up all the businesses and control the price for every good or service in this country. I didn't get to all of your texters. Another text, the U.S., right, that policy is no longer valid. The government has access to your economic viability through VAT payments, right? They have access to that information. And there was a text here, dear texter. Ms. Green, I cannot allow you to spew such nonsense. I had to get it because they sent it.
A person to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, out of your mouth. Spend a week on a real farm and see if you would want government to control your price. I don't think you all understand that agriculture is state subsidized across the globe. I don't know.
Not here.
I mean,
Not here.
even
They
here.
didn't give you free access to land.
Hold on, you don't go to the packing house?
You don't go to packing house. They don't can the items and help you sell it. No.
Yes, the state.
You have some backing
the
houses that you
state,
can
the
purchase
government.
land, but no counting.
No, listen, the government buy, they don't can anymore, but the government buys high and they sell low. I mean, even in the Bahamas, these things
The
happen.
government buy what?
At the packing house, the government buys at a higher rate from the vendors, and they buy high and they sell low. Yeah.
But you have any more text there, Aaron?
No, we good.
Okay, so Luby indicated that perhaps we need more people inside the Bahamas, right? I see that Abaco, so going back to notice immigration says here, I got to push it. Abaco has a large number of Haitian migrants gravitating to that island, right? And I'm trying to find out why, what is causing that? And is the problem them, the migrants, or is the problem the Bahamians who are inviting them? I would believe that they are in Abaco for a reason, right? And the reason they're because they have jobs there, and there's a large demand for labor in Abaco, and because of that large demand for labor, that we have now made a way for migrants who are in the Bahamas already, or to all through the Bahamas to run to Abaco, and that's what I'm thinking is causing this influx.
Invitation is there. The invitation is basically there. When you think about Abaco, you say that Abaco accounts for 1/3 of Bahamian GDP. So you're saying that a lot of those expats and Bahamians at large that are there, they are benefiting from whatever's happening in Abaco, from the construction, from the boaters, etc., from down there. They need laborers. So if you're thinking about they need laborers, and the laborers that they have there are going to be paid for whatever services that they're going to render, then they're going to keep on coming down.
So the people in Abaco are being disingenuous by saying that they feel as if they're being inundated, overwhelmed by immigrants, when it's them who are facilitating them to come to Abaco.
I think it's a portion. I don't think we should speak general like all.
They're still asking for more people to come in.
But there's a portion of persons that are saying that. I think that coming from the people that are actually doing the hiring, they're saying more should come because that's the avenue they can use them because they know it's a big opportunity for the investment that are there. But I think that the Abaconians that are there, that are not so much of the business owners, etc., they're having a problem because they're saying that, hey, these people are infringing on our space.
And I will ask Luby this: how are migrants? It's talking about Haitian migrants in particular. How are they contributing to the Bahamas in general? One would say that most of it is taken, And I want you to give a case. Make a case. Make a case.
I mean, that's ridiculous, man. That's crazy. Let's go back to the pandemic. Do you recall during the pandemic when the government was handing out, aid packages through NIB, assisting persons with monies and those sort of stuff? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember the NIB.
Remember a group of Haitian pastors going on Eyewitness News and going to other news outlets and crying out and saying that, well, the Haitians, the other migrants, they're here too. They're contributing to the pool. They're putting in too, at an average per migrant per year, some $1,100 to $1,200 per migrant, right? Legal person. I'm not talking about, per legal migrant. But yet they can't make claims. You see what I'm saying? But yet we talking about just coming and taking. We talk about remittances also. Migrants, they working, they taking their money and they sending it back to Haiti. But do we look at the equal value that's left in the Bahamas for that labor that they had to render to earn that money? So the migrant works on this construction site, C.A. Newry's house. He's paid $100, $200, $300 a week for that work. Who cares if he sends back $150 or $200 back to Haiti?
Well, I care because some of that money could have been left right here in the Bahamas.
But here's what I'm saying.
Some of the money is left right here in the Bahamas.
They got
to pay rent.
They have to.
They ain't paying the rent. They ain't paying the rent. Aaron, stop that. They ain't paying the rent.
Somebody.
Aaron, they ain't paying the rent.
They may be paying something, but they ain't paying it with a
Newry, they're paying rent to somebody.
Let us stop right there for a second, though.
Luby, you know they ain't paying the rent.
Let us stop right there for a second. You just, in regards to the people in Abaco, stopped seeing Newry and said we cannot generalize and use blanket statements for a whole demographic of people, right?
Right.
So I want to propose that we do the same thing when we're talking about the Haitians. We cannot come to the conversation and solely think shanty town.
They paying somebody rent.
Yeah.
My family paid rent all my life.
Yeah. See,
did y'all live in the bush? Did y'all live in the bush?
Okay, so you're talking about the people living in the bush.
Live in the bush.
Are you specifically talking about them?
I'm going to specifically talk about those persons in the back of the bush.
Remember now, CA's question was Haitians. He didn't talk about
if you're legal, if you're going through the proper channels, you went through the labor board, your boss or whatever, you go to immigration and you have status and you're working. That's fine. You have a specialty, you have a work ethic, whatever you do, that's fine. But the argument is going to be those persons that are living behind the bushes.
Hold on, you mean
that are not using bathrooms, that are using that in the water wells.
But you cannot say Haitians, but then think about that.
I'm afraid of deportation, but they're sending the money outside the country.
Let's talk about the bush. You mean the bush right off of Faith Avenue?
You have a bush there too.
Which one of these bushes?
But you said Abaco.
Hold on.
We were talking specifically
let's
about
talk
Abaco,
about
but we know
bush.
that they're all over here too.
Let me talk for a second. Which bushes you talking about? Because it turns out that some people own these bushes, and the question is, see, this is a question I have to ask.
But yet they say they ain't paying rent.
When you show me a house, in the bush, and it have BEC current, Ian, when you show me a house in the bush, in the back of the bush, and it have BEC current running to it,
Straight through
I
the
just
shanty
need to know who authorized the power line to get hooked up.
I'll say this to you, Aaron. I'll say this
When
to
the
you.
mud and the peas existed in Abaco, there was paved government roads going straight through the mud and
can
the
I say
peas.
something to you, Luby?
BPL, BEC, whatever you want to call it, utilities were set up running through the houses in Abaco.
Luby, I'll say this to you, Luby. For me, this is my opinion.
Go ahead, Ian.
When you see those persons are doing that, the private owners, as Bahamians, that is a national security problem.
I mean, that's government who put the lamp hole there.
No. We're talking about what Luby is saying. Luby is saying that there are wires running. I don't know if they're the real wires
They
that
had
are running.
lamp pole and telephone.
We don't know if that's the real wires running.
Government owned the lamp pole and the telephone.
The question is
who's
this.
supposed to inspect it regularly?
The question is this. We have town planning.
Put up the meters.
We have town planning that inspects whether or not if your building is up to par or if you have a permit to build these structures. As a Bahamian, I believe it's an injustice when I can put up a structure on the side of my building if I don't have a number. You said remove immediately, break it down.
Okay,
But you can come. Hold on, no. But you can come in my country.
Luby, I agree with
and
you.
you
All
can
of us
throw
agree
up.
on
You
that.
can throw up a cloud. But we talking about the cloud board, not Luby.
Ian, you gotta look at me right now, because here's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I would be upset as well, right?
That's what happened. The payments are frustrated.
I would be upset as well if I put up my structure and with the number, and the people next to me put up the structure with no number. But I would be upset at the Bahamians that continue to ride past my house and ask me for $10 for bears while they ignore the unpermitted house next to me. Who you mad at and why?
Well, if they ain't permitted, then you call and you let the regular authorities know. But my thing is that
The
if
regular
my
authorities
thing,
have a job
my
and a
thing-
mandate
you-
to go out Pond Road and inspect these things.
But Aaron, you made a statement when you said that there are persons that own these lands and these persons are paying those rent.
But you say they don't pay rent.
But if, no, Aaron, I'm
No,
just
I
repeating
said
what
that.
Aaron said.
They don't pay rent.
I'm just me
say
and
they don't
CA
pay
say they ain't paying
They
rent.
got receipts.
Me and CA say they ain't paying rent.
So let's get towards this call.
Let's go to the caller.
Yeah, we got to go to the caller. Caller, we see you, and then I got a couple texts. A good one here. They say they start off with lounge and co.
I know if they even pay national insurance. I don't know how they benefit.
Luby said
from
they're
it.
paying national insurance.
How about
Let's go to the call.
I
Let's
need
go to the call.
somebody needs to be held accountable for that.
Yeah.
Not me though. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Hi, morning. I mean, are you guys serious? Every time a person brings up the issue that these persons, especially illegals that live in shanty towns, are not contributing or paying, taxes like the ordinary Bahamian citizen, we go to this argument that, how do they get there, or so who's facilitating it? That doesn't make it right.
Nobody ever said.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's what I hear.
Pause, ma'am.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, ma'am. But what we are saying is, if you want,
doesn't make it right.
I thank you, ma'am. Don't hang up. Don't hang up, because we could talk. What we're saying is that if you want a solution that will work, that's not just effective one time.
Okay, and that is
but a sustainable solution, then you need to determine what the problem is.
Of course, put the blame on Bahamians.
Of course,
we have.
Of course, no, we ain't dropping it. Put it on mute, producer. Of course, the people shouldn't be living in the bush, ma'am. But have you ever asked yourself, how did 25 BEC meters disappear from BEC and just show up in the bush erected to houses? Did you ever figure out why it is that BEC could come to your house and tell you they know you burning current, but they couldn't figure out that 175 people was in the bush burning current? You ever imagine how the people could come to your house at night and know you, the Bahamian, illegally turning your power on, but they can't see an entire city burning electricity in the bush? There are Bahamians complicit in it. We are not saying that the undocumented migrants that are living irregularly in the bush are correct. Nobody is saying that. What we are saying is that none of this would be possible without
facilitators.
Without Bahamians making it possible. That is all we're saying. And then we further that to say, if you want an actual solution that's sustainable and that will work, you need to figure out where the malfeasance is occurring. You need to be able to identify and take to court the bad actors. And just saying, well, we know the Haitians are wrong is not going to bring us to the point of being able to do something about it. We're not rowing. We're trying to get deeper into the conversation so we can forge a way forward.
We have another call, Aaron, so let's pass that caller
Yeah, yeah.
through to get this conversation. Go ahead, producer. Pass the caller through. You call said like that lady, hang up.
That lady is vexed.
Put on mute.
She is vexed.
Pass the truth, producer.
She should be.
Is the same caller, right, producer? No. Good morning, caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Yeah.
What's happening is with the humanitarian, it's the same talking points. Persons who are foreign labor or whatever always have. The talking points that Aaron tends to spew is the same talking points that we always hear as Bahamians. The question, why Bahamians are frustrated is, yes, I understand we need a systemic way to solve the problem systemically where we can stop the overall picture. But what do we do in the interim? I'm still being disenfranchised as a Bahamian. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and you make sense. But I'm saying, in the interim, I still need a permit. I still need to follow the rules. I'm looking at this for decades now, going on, and the same talking points that you're saying has been going on for decades. We're saying, don't let us be disenfranchised for it. Is what I'm saying. Let them be allowed to go build. All I'm saying is we want equal rights under the law. If you can allow a certain portion of persons to build, finally let us do the same thing. Instead of us just saying, yeah, we know what we got to do, the Bahamians, whatever. I'm simply saying this, the Bahamians are frustrated. We've been hearing these same talking points for decades. I guess you guys wouldn't get it in the studio.
No, we get it and we understand. That's why we allow you to talk and explain your point. But this is our concern. The problem that exists here is a Bahamian problem because Bahamians are the ones facilitating this. And so what we need to do is address and arrest these Bahamians who are basically selling us out.
Definitely.
And I'm going to say this. Some of them are part of the political class, and we keep voting them back into power.
Aaron, I don't care what part of the political arena they sit.
Oh, no, you have to keep...
No. I'm going to tell you why. We said, CA says prosecution. You said that the Bahamians, if they know that those persons are being or there illegally, then they have a civic duty to call and to let those persons know who are in charge. This is what's happening. But you see, we have to go beyond that. We have to say as a people, because this is infringing on our sovereignty, we have to say as a people that we are not prepared to stand for this. We have to stand as a people and say, you know what? That is not going to work.
I have another call here.
And we have to do it across the board.
And Louis going quiet.
And it don't matter. And I'm not going to target just the Haitians, because not just the Haitians are here. We have to look at the Jamaicans. We're doing the same
Jamaicans
thing.
alone.
Homeboy, we got to look at the Jamaicans. We have to look at the Chinese.
No.
We have to look at the Chinese too. They're here. That's the problem.
Anyway, let's go to the caller.
You on the show.
Go to the caller.
Quick caller.
Don't let me just target one today. We can target all.
Leave the Jamaicans alone, eh?
Good morning, caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, morning, C, and good morning to your panelists.
Good morning.
You know, in one part of the Bible, I think it's Habakkuk, it talks about the law. And it says that the law is slack. The law was slack in the Bible days, and the law is slack now. The government is slack. The government has one job and one function. And it's very easy, CA. The government shall pass laws, Parliament shall pass laws for the good governance of this country. That's what the government's supposed to do, and to make sure that the people obey the laws of the land. How difficult is that? Is that difficult?
No, it's not difficult.
So why isn't it happening? Because we slack, man. We slack. We just got slackness kind done.
Okay, let me introduce this to the conversation and let you quickly answer so we go to the next caller. Recently inside a newspaper, the United States government was warning their citizens to expect a mass exodus out of Haiti in the upcoming months. Right, and I'm saying, how would that impact if they wanted their citizens say unprecedented numbers never before seen, right? What does that mean to the Bahamas? Should we, as Bahamians, our Bahamian government, respond to that U.S. warning to their citizens?
CA, we should have had patrols.
But we have patrols.
No, we need to hire more patrols.
We spent $200 million on Sandy Bottom, whatever that thing is. All the boats then bust up. The boats can't even run. We spent $17 million on drones. We're supposed to listen, Aisha Bo, who's going into space the other day, she was here a couple of years ago, and she was trying to get this country. She said that I have the technology that we could patrol our thing. But we just slack. We just corruption all over the place. Everybody wants tip. Everybody wants something. That's why this country ain't gonna be no better. Like JJ always say, until this Moses crew die out, and we got somebody with some vision, man. We need to enforce the laws. That's all we don't need no more laws on our books. Enforce the laws. I asked one Chinese woman, I said, Miss, you all have these problems in China. She said, no. Some people know we don't play. The people got to be scared of the law. That's what the Bible says, that the law, that the evildoers are supposed to be afraid of the law. But there's no fear. There's no fear in our country. That's why people could pick up guns and shoot people left, right, and center, because they know that the law is slack. And until we fix our judicial system, because they're the ones responsible for enforcing the laws of this country, not the police.
And thank you very much for contribution. I see I have a next caller there. Producer, flash the caller through. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me? Caller, can you hear me? I hear you in the background.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
I don't see it. I think that you got Mr. Georges there?
Georges Radio.
Yeah, hey, just Marky, Mr. Georges. Now, don't disrespect. Please get me right now. I try to follow this pattern because I've been here for a long, long time, from Loftus Road to time. Let me ask you a question, because people say, Sparky, are you man enough to ask Mr. Georges a question? I can't try.
Just ask him.
Did your mother and father come here illegally, or did they come here legally?
That's a setup question, by the way, Georges.
Hello?
He tried to set you up.
No, he can't set me up.
Go ahead and answer him then.
No, I'm not trying to set up.
No, let him answer. He just going to answer the question, but you interrupt him. Let him answer the question.
No, I say he's a Bahamian now.
Yeah, but you want to know if his parents come illegally?
What's the answer to the question?
But I want you to answer so I can know.
Yes, they did.
So his parents come illegally. Go ahead.
Okay,
Next
they
question.
came here illegally, and then you were born here.
Yeah.
Okay, now you waited 18 years, and then you became a Bahamian after you were 18, after you applied.
Yes.
According to the Constitution.
Somebody at government granted you. But your mother and father, were they here 18 years while you were growing up in this country illegally?
Yes, sir.
They were here illegally, right?
No, sorry. I just hear what he just said. No, sir.
They were here illegally while
No, sir. My parents are permanent residents of the Bahamas.
Their parents not now, right?
They got a permanent residence.
Listen, now stay private,
so
business, man.
That's now, right?
No, sir. My parents have been permanent residents of the Bahamas for decades now, man.
For decades.
What you call decades?
You just say decades. That's more than 10 years.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying? So, okay, you got yours done legally then. What you did was legal. We're talking about all the rest that are here illegal now, having children. Should we wait for them to get 18 years old? Mommy and daddy staying here for 18 years illegal, and then the child, when he gets...
Why do you assume that they're illegal, though?
How you mean assume? Do you have a national insurance card? Do you have a passport? Do you have a birth certificate? Were you born here?
Does that apply to everyone?
It applies to everybody if we follow the law.
So you're saying every
the law goes for everybody.
So, Sparky, can I ask you a question?
The Chinese also.
Sparky, allow me 1 second. One quick question. When you encounter a Haitian on your daily moveabouts, do you automatically assume that person is
of course,
illegal first, or you give them,
Of course.
No, I don't automatically do that. If somebody comes to my gate,
not you, Sparky. I'm talking about.
But the way you talking, Sparky, it's as if you come to the conversation when it comes to Haitians thinking illegal before legal or anything else.
No, Mr. Joseph, when I hear a man come on my national TV or my national radio and say, there's more of us here than y'all. Who's the y'all? Because we are the Bahamians. We're the ones supposed to be here. Who's the us he talking about? The illegal people.
Well, if somebody else came and said there's 10, would you have believed that person? Or you just want to believe the crazy, chaotic, fear-mongering type of scenarios?
Well, I know it got to be more than 10 because so many boats crashed on South Beach.
just now, Sparky. You know you trumped me just now.
So many boats crashed on South Beach and they didn't find nobody on the boat. It got to be more than 10.
Then 12 then. But Sparky, 12, I appreciate the call.
Whatever fits the narrative we're going to run with. The former charge d'affaires came on at the press conference at the OPM, said there's some more than 150,000 Haitians living in the Bahamas.
You want to take a
We ran with that.
Take that quick break?
Anson Ali, the guy, this is years ago.
Is that true?
This is, no, it's not. This is years ago, the guy in the shanty town who said that crazy stuff.
We got to pay bills. We got to take that quick break.
Make that money, man.
I get Chelsea great, buddy.
Make that money. Make that money.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I got a break at 45.
Make that
Well,
money.
the last one was eating stewfish. I hope you eat your Johnny cake.
We'll be right back. This is Guardian Radio at AM with On the Clock with Aaron Green, and we have a discussion with Louis Georges. We tried to find out if his parents ever shared legally all that time, but now we found better. Anyway, we'll be right back.
J.S. Johnson Insurance agents are the best. Reliable service, we've been on the scene, protecting since 1919. J.S. Johnson Insurance has stood the test. You'll always cover me. J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The new Guardian Radio app is here. Listen live to all our Guardian Radio shows and live video stream select programs in our studio. Get information about Guardian Radio shows and our hosts. Send messages including text, email, and even call. All from our amazing new Guardian Radio app. Download it free today in your App Store for your Apple device or Play Store for your Android device. The all-new and improved Guardian Radio app.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We're back on live, and welcome back to Guardian Radio and AM with On the Clock with Aaron Green. This is CA Newry, and we have a list of things we want to talk about, even though I still want to talk about immigration
No,
and
we still talk about immigration.
how the migrants in Abaco benefit in Abaco. But Aaron has one or two things that we want to break up before we
we're
continue.
still talking about migration. It's a conversation to sort of follow up or lead into this conversation. It's a very interesting discussion that I've been following recently. And from last week's discussion, people got very upset at me when I offered the Long Island solution as a solution to the migrant crisis.
You got routed on social media. That man called you everything but the child of God.
Six videos.
But Aaron, you should shout out to Bobo because he's listening.
And in fact,
But he definitely is listening to you.
I'd like to say, Bobo, you could also listen while you working. You don't have to wait until your lunch break to replay the show. Listen while you working. Right? But this is what I'm saying. So watch this. From June, I had a show in June 21st, where I talked about the UK-Rwanda Migrant and Economic Development Partnership, right? Where the UK say, look here, Rwanda, all of the migrants that have attempted to enter irregularly, right? Undocumented migrants, and particularly two sets of migrants. Those who have entered on dangerous journeys, like on boats or in the tire wheel of lorries, or people who have entered irregularly from a country that they could have applied for asylum in. We sending all y'all back to Rwanda, right? Rwanda is a landlocked country. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wait a minute. Is the U.S., when I saw that story, is the U.S. going to attempt to do a similar thing here in the Bahamas, right? And then I realized on June 10th, we have an article, Biden unveils the historic migration agreement for Western Hemisphere. Now, that's the meeting that Brave went to, but told us explicitly that he did not, and the Bahamas did not sign on to that agreement, right? And that was a sweeping declaration with buy-in from countries from Canada to Ecuador to help stem migration and promote welcoming policies throughout Latin America, the Caribbean, and the U.S. Again, the Bahamas, our Prime Minister said the Bahamas was not a quote-unquote signatory to this agreement. And then the article that Cecil referenced, with a possible surge of Haitian migrants ahead, the Biden administration is weighing holding them in a third country or at Guantanamo Bay. And in this article, the U.S. speaks about a potential policy where they are going to either select one or several quote-unquote third countries that they'll call lily pads, right?
He ain't gonna be here.
To hold... I wanted to say that.
I had to interject.
Okay.
It ain't gonna be here.
It might be already here.
No, it ain't gonna be here.
And so...
This ain't the dumping ground.
If they don't select a lily pad or sufficient, right, because they have to weigh whether that'll if that'll cause tumult in the country, they have a facility at Guantanamo Bay. And so I thought, leaving that last show, right? The UK has a migrant plan. And it appears the US has a migrant plan. And if the Bahamas doesn't have a migrant plan, we're going to become a part of the US's migrant plan.
That ain't a good thing.
And so the question I am putting forward is, how much money do we demand from the US, the UN, and the international global community if we were to participate in this plan?
We're doing it for free now, though.
You sure we're doing it for free? I'm just asking. This is just a question mark.
But there's something
we are not deporting illegal undocumented migrants. We're not doing any raids. Now, the people who we are deporting. Let me explain that.
Well,
the people who was, let me get this point. The people who we were deporting are people we intersected on the seas. They're the 2,000, 3,000 numbers. In Abaco, they captured 50 people recently. They're in the thousands, and you can brag with 50.
That's a
you stand up. So that should tell you. You stand up. You should be able to calculate.
But Newry, that right there counters the idea that the majority residing in Abaco have irregular status.
So you say the majority of people in Abaco are more likely
listen,
status.
When Immigration and Defense Force and Police did that operation the other day for about 2 to 3 days in Abaco, they were on the ferries. They were on the docks. They were in the shanty town. They were in Marsh Harbor. They were all over.
And
they were kicking down doors.
Going in the bush?
They was in the, what you call the thing, the farm and all of that.
Apparently they stood in the door and no one passed out. They couldn't find nobody who was undocumented.
So they did the
magic. And the majority of people that they arrested, they had to release.
I get 12
or send the
and we got a call on.
Okay, we have a call in 12 texts.
All right.
We find with something wrong.
Okay, so let's go to this text. Newry, all Sparky was trying to say to show Luby was the system works when you follow the law. And then he goes on to say, but you guys always rowing, y'all don't really want a conversation. Another text, C.A. Newry, I tune in late, interesting show, ask our beloved Luby and Ian that if it's Munnings, that if there are ultra-rich people living in Haiti up in the hills, in the mountains, in the southern parts of Haiti, why are Haitian migrants leaving from the north of Haiti, risking their lives to cross the sea to come to the Bahamas for employment opportunities instead of moving to those ultra-wealthy areas of Haiti? I will say, we got ultra-rich people living in Lyford Key, and yet people still toting water from the pump in Baintown. But thank you, Texter. It's an interesting point, worthy of talking about it. It is really good that the gentleman could have asked a Chinese woman if China have the same problem as we. She replied, no, he should have asked, why are you here then? Another text, Mr. Newry asked Luby why him, Fred Smith, and United Nations to put together with Haiti and try by Abaco from the Bahamas government. You want those Abaconians to start talking people, eh?
They may come up with the money for true. They be ready to buy it.
But Aaron, I would like for Luby just to state one particular thing. I think we passed over that too quickly. Luby said that they had a raid for about 3 days in all through the bushes and the boats.
It's like a week.
For a week.
Quick.
And in a week, you only tell me 50 people.
That's it.
That's what the government says,
so
not us.
Those people are there against their regularized status.
Okay,
I mean, that's what's happening. The majority of people, the majority of Haitians,
make a minute. Okay, CA, you don't want to entertain talking about any Haitian constitution when it comes to dual citizenship, but you entertain Aaron talking about the USA and the UK is talking about migration. We don't want to hear that either. Our constitution trumps all that. Let's enforce our laws. And no one coming without citizenship. All I said was the UK had a plan and the US had a plan and the Bahamas should have a plan too unless we become a part of their plan and nothing more. And I think that that's what the Bahamian people need to hear. It's okay to spend time expressing your frustration, but it's also time to prepare and move forward. Otherwise, you will become subject to whatever it is these global powers have in store for us. Develop your own plan before you become a part of somebody else's plan.
Just don't let them get no super idea, but dump them here.
I think they're going to dump them here. But anyway, this has been Guardian Radio in the AM with C.A. Newry, and thanks very much to my co-host, Aaron Green, with On the Clock. And thank you very much, Ian. Thank you very much, Luby. Luby, we can press you again next week. You know we can press you again, right?
I can be radio, man. I can be radio.
No problem.
I love it.
Anyway, take care. We'll see you again tomorrow. Okay,
morning, Melissa.
I can press Ian.